From the west to the midwest, a rivalry spark. Every matchup hits heavy, every barn gets dark. Fast ice, big hits, every night feels prime. NCHC, hockey legends built over time. We talk grit, talk glory, talk battles on blades, talk goal line scrambles and overtime shades. From the booth to the bench, every story rings true. If you love this game, then this show's for you. Skate sharp light. Welcome to the nation. Game on. Stay strong. Go horns roaring while the fight songs roll on. College pride in the stands. Every voice sings along. Go hook and fight songs. Forever skating on. Skate sharp lane. Welcome to the nation. Game on. Stay strong. Go horns rolling while the fight songs roll on. College pride in the stands. Every voice sings along. Go horns and fight songs. Forever skating on. Forever skating on.
Go for it.
All right. It is Tuesday night, and we're back with another episode of Goal Horns and Fight Songs. Kind of getting back into conference play finally. 3 games on Friday, and then a few more with an exhibition thrown in there on Saturday. But still, I mean, mostly a fun weekend. Friday wasn't as much fun for me, but it is what it is.
No, there's definitely some good games. I watched them all, I think, at least most of them. So I mean, a lot of good hockey. You know, we're really in that grinder of the NCHC season under full swing. Miami a little bit surprising. You know, we saw them split with ASU earlier in the season, and then they pick up a couple big games last weekend against them. Play Omaha, who's struggling, and they rode the wave of another split with ASU going, you know, from the weekend before to hosting Omaha, and boy, did they just hit the ice running from Friday. You know, goalie looked good, kept Omaha off the board. In fact, all the home teams kept the away teams off the boards on Friday night, and it was in fact the exhibition game, and the Canadians from Simon Fraser who scored the first goal for an away team against an NCHC team this weekend. Followed closely by Duluth on Saturday.
Yeah, didn't take very long in the game. It was just the start time. 12 seconds in on Saturday to get the goal. Just gotten it up and running, and it was like, huh, he scored.
But
So, but yeah, I think the Friday games, I don't really know how much of the Miami goalie and North Dakota's goalie, how much they played, but I know for UMD, or how many big saves they needed to make, but Shyak, the St. Cloud goalie, he had a magnet for the puck. There was no possible way. There were so many wide open nets, and we'd hit the post, or we'd shoot it over, or he was just diving and making these random saves that he shouldn't have made, and it was just sticking to him like Velcro.
sometimes you just run into the wrong goalie.
Yeah, it was a frustrating game to watch in that sense when there were so many opportunities, but at the same time, like it is what it is. just happens on a night, and I believe that was our first Friday night loss of the year, uh, which that sucks, but at least we were able to come away with the split.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, because big points are up for grabs right now. Um, Denver finally able to stop the bleeding after was it four, 5 straight losses. Um, they kind of keep
I think it
at,
would have been five.
at least a hold on the back of North Dakota's jersey. They had a real chance to start running away with it, but the split keeps them in check. They are sitting at 32 points in first place right now. Western, who didn't play, falls back to fourth as Duluth jumps them again. But there's a 1 point difference between those two teams, and they'll meet this weekend. So a lot of big points up for grabs. Miami, not in the cellar. We can finally say it. They are all the way up to 7th place right now, sitting at
Yes.
16 points. There's
And
a
just 1 point behind St. Cloud and Arizona.
yes. There's a tie
Arizona
for
State, sorry, because Tom will get mad and Paul will get mad. Arizona State.
Paul will get madder. There's a tie for 5th and a tie for 8th right now. But it's nice to see Miami finally making their way out of the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, it's taken them a long time,
Too long.
but we were saying it last year and we've said it before. They were there right, like they were right there last year. They just couldn't quite get over the hump. They were playing teams tough. They were playing close games. If it ended up a 2 goal game, it was probably an empty netter that made it a 2 goal game. They just weren't getting certain bounces, and now they've figured something out, just a little bit more of an adjustment to take those wins versus taking those losses. And
Fun.
it's good.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely made a big step forward this year from last year, and even last year was a big step forward from the year before. So the improvements there, and every year is a different team. So you're gonna, it's gonna be a different go every year. As we're strongly seeing this year. Omaha's been on a little bit of a rise the last couple of years, but they've hit a hard hiccup this year, and I think a lot of it's just a lot of the turnover between last year and this year, losing a lot of those top guys, going a different route as far as what players they were looking for, and then just waiting for them to figure out the play style. It just hasn't been there yet, and some injuries mixed in here and there. Cozy certainly hasn't been 100% the Cozy we've seen in the past, but also trying to mix in Cowan here and there, give him a little bit of a spell. Cowan's played good in some games. He's struggled in some games, so it's just a lot of shuffling and learning the new roster and learning the new style of play for Omaha. It seems like, but fun fact: this is Miami's first NCHC sweep since 2022, when they also swept Omaha on home ice. So Omaha was the last one, and Omaha was the most recent one, and almost 3 years to date because it was February 11th and 12th when they swept them in 2022.
Yeah, poor Brent. Hope he's okay.
I wonder who hates Miami more, him or you. I want to lean him.
Eh, probably him.
At least right now.
More than like, I don't really hate Miami. It's just more so the fact of
Why does it have to be
really,
my team that loses to him?
yeah, it's way more fun when it's somebody else's team that loses
Way
to
more
them.
fun. But
Um, but yeah, then I mean, there was no lack of offense this weekend. I mean, yes, on Friday, 3 teams getting shut out, but there
but the teams who
14
scored,
goals.
boy, did they score in bunches.
Yeah, 6 on for St. Cloud State, 3 for Miami, 5 for North Dakota, and then Saturday it was just another ton of goals by everyone, pretty much. Even the Canadian team. I mean, 3 goals is nothing to slouch at. Now, when you give up 8, you're probably not going to win. That's kind of how this works. But Saturday was way more offensive than Friday was, in the sense of more goals scored.
Is it really this disrespectful Oh no, Miami got one player of the week. Again, I don't agree with the selection of goaltender of the week. Did he play both games
Yes, he did.
for St. Cloud?
Yes, he did.
All right. I mean, I guess that
And
I still no. You know what? It's still Miami for me. I don't care what you say. I have to give it to the Miami
because he
goalie
got the sweep.
because he got the sweep. He was the only goaltender that got the sweep. He got he had also had a shutout on Friday. I mean, every home goalie had a shutout on Friday. So you'd put those, kind of toss those out. Um, Arizona State has some dangerous players. If St. Cloud, I think, had won both games, certainly. I mean, the fact that they were able to keep Duluth off the scoreboard once is impressive. But they kind of lit him up again. At least got back to what they were doing. And I mean, a 5-3 loss on Saturday.
Yeah,
Five's a
yeah, shows
lot.
that he. And that was the thing I was wondering about that, and I had to look today before we got on to see if he got it, and
I
maybe
mean,
they're basing it just off his play on Friday, but
he did have he saved four. The last one was an empty net, so it doesn't count against him. But 24
but
saves
still,
on 28 shots. 28's not a super high number. Friday he did make 42 saves in the 6-0 shutout. Um, Honestly, the fact that the defense gave up 42 shots on goal when you're outscoring the other team 6-0 does not speak highly for your defense. So kudos to him for the performance on Friday, but I still
yeah, we were the better team. That's for sure. But the the thing was there were some just odd bounces. There was I think it was in the maybe it was in the third, but it was a pass off the end wall, bounced right into the slot, easy goal. Uh, Not quite sure what Guyon was doing on that one. There's another one that bounced awkwardly to uh, someone on the wing. It would just then other shots he couldn't see. It was so everything falling St. Cloud's way, even though UMD was the better team and giving up the 42 shots. So maybe they were looking at his performance from Friday and just saying like, well, in Miami he did better, but I'm in agreement with you. If you earn the sweep, you play both games, then you earned goalie of the week.
let's see here. I'm gonna look up and see what the Miami's goalies numbers were. Do. Because like I said, I was watching all of the games, and it wasn't like the goalies weren't doing absolutely nothing. Everybody was competing pretty good, and Omaha had some chances, but Miami just played a really good weekend. I mean, the Miami defense was great. He only saw 19 shots on Friday. And then what did he do Saturday? Let in less goals on Saturday, I'll tell you that. Because he
Yeah.
only let in 2.
Yep.
So goals against average is one a game for the weekend. Come on, load faster, please. Please and thank you. Please stop doing that, Oliver. There it is. And wait, did he have 19 both nights? That's not right. Did I do that right? Maybe Saturday he had 19. What am I reading? I don't know how to read. Who let me drive?
I don't know.
Oh, that's not right. Wrong one. Nope. I know. See, we should prepare better. No, he did. He had 19 saves both nights. So he went 38 for 38. So a little bit better defensive play in front of him.
So technically 38 out of 40.
Oh yeah, 38 out of 40. Let's see. What else can we talk about from this weekend that is NCHC stuff? Because, I mean, it was, I didn't go to the games. I just watched them. They were decent, but I wasn't 100% invested in them. I wasn't paying attention to wrong name count this week, so that was fun. Partly because they weren't in Denver.
I mean, I had Gino Parrish make a tweet back at me that made no sense uh, with the net being pushed off because it's always intentional if it's the opposing team, but it's never St. Cloud.
Never St. Cloud during the second period, for sure. Even though the net
But
comes
this,
off just as much in the second period as it does any other period.
well, and I told you the weird part was it was actually the opposite end.
Also, it was in the first or the third.
Yeah, it was. I think this one was in the third that it came off on St. Cloud's end while the St. Cloud goalie was in net, and it was, oh yeah, he never was pushing it off. And then I know, I don't remember if it was Guyon or Bierman. One of them went, and it was a short side snipe, and he tried to lean, and it popped off. He's like, yeah, it looks like he was trying to knock it off intentionally. I'm like, no,
I hope that's
but
something they fix when that place goes under renovations, I think, this summer.
yeah, I hope they fix that. But
Because the net on the visitor side for the first and third is just barely held on by anything. The thing pops if you breathe on it too hard.
mhm. I did like though. I know I messaged you and I messaged Trevor about this. Showstack after his shutout, the horn sounds and he just tips the net over on its face, like the door is shut. And
That was a good one.
yes, I think it's a little disrespectful, but that's also hilarious. It's
Eh.
like you earned it, buddy. You earned that shutout. You can celebrate. It's not something. I'm sure there were people that were super upset about saying that that has no place in our game and he should have more respect for the team. You have to play him another night. Eh, let him have fun. He earned it. It was clever. I've never seen that done before, so I give him credit.
No, I mean it was. I liked the Selly at the end after shutting a team out. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah,
Things.
I laughed.
I was gonna say things. I wanted to start a new segment. It's called "Things from After the Pod," and it's all the news that comes out on Wednesday that we don't talk about on Tuesday because it's not news yet. Because
Yeah.
they release all the good news on Wednesday. I believe it was last week. That's why we didn't talk about it. That they announced the new schedule for the transfer portal. It is now, I think, 15 days. A little bit shorter window to jump in unless there's a coaching change or some of the other exemptions that were previously in place are still in place, like your coach leaves. You have the opportunity to jump in, and it also does not open until after the NCAA champion has been crowned.
That's good.
Now,
That makes the most sense.
while it makes the most sense, and we won't have guys who are already committed to their new schools before a champion is crowned, like Western had 4 players committed to this year's team before they played played a game in St. Louis. But at the same time, like, we know all the backside stuff is still going to happen. We know those guys, whoever's in the portal, they're going to know pretty much as soon as the season's over. If not, I mean, there's probably some guys that are sitting there on teams right now who know they're jumping in the portal the second their team's out of it or the champion's crowned. Hell, they may even know where they're playing next year already. So,
Hmm.
I mean, that stuff's not going to change. But I do like that, it doesn't officially open until after the championship. Because I think it takes some of the pressure off of certain players. And again, maybe conversations are already being had or will be had relatively soon. Um, but, I think there may have been some guys who were checking news stories and seeing like, oh, these 4 guys have committed. What does that mean for my spot here next year? Is it, are we going to have a conversation after this championship game um, about next year, or do I have to find another team, or things like that? I think are just unfair to the players who are currently on the staff, or
Mm-hmm.
so.
It
To me,
makes
to
it
me,
less of a
it
distraction.
yeah, I like the change. I think it's a good change. Again, I just think a lot of the backside stuff is going to make it a less meaningful change than what we kind of want it to be, maybe, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense that there's still going to be back end deals and like, hey, who are they going to be looking at? And your team goes, the kid already knows he wants to go in the transfer portal, but the rest of the teams that are still playing aren't going to know. So that's fine. They can focus on playing the game versus now knowing, oh, hey, so and so is transferring here and
Um,
there.
Over under. So we got a question in the chat. Do you think Portal is over under 300 names this year? I mean, I think 300 is honestly like a good line if we're going that way. I want it. So the thing that brought it down last year was just there's not the COVID seasons are over. There's no more COVID year. There's no more COVID players. The drop down in roster size if teams opted into the house buy-in. Um, but this year, all those Canadian kids who signed to a team, how many of them want to stay where they're at? Are they going to want to jump in the portal and go somewhere else? How many are going to be signing pros? Um,
How many Canadians are going to be coming down to a team where there's a guy that's a fringe player on, say Western, or especially with Omaha, how many kids they had come in from Canada
yeah,
that he looks at it and was like, uh-oh, this kid's coming down from the CHL. I might not have a spot. I'm going to go find somewhere else where I know I can play, and hop out that way. But then
how many was it? Oh, do I still have it? I don't
it's,
have it up anymore.
if you think about it, you're hopping in the transfer portal, but now there's so many more players to come down. You're not necessarily guaranteed a spot where you're going to transfer to or where you'd like to transfer to, because now, like, say you want to go to a Niagara, or with Knapp, he went to Lindenwood because he figured he was going to maybe have a better chance to play at a Lindenwood. Now, with all these Canadian players that can come in, those spots might not be there as much as they were with other transfers, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. So I'm looking at something. They was like already projecting guys that are going to be in the portal this year. It looks like. Um, I'm trying to see how many were in this year. I think it was pretty close to 300 were transferred this year. And I think that's really going to be like the watermark. I could see it being a little bit over. Like I said, a lot of the Canadian players trying to figure out if they're going to stay in NCAA, if they want to switch to a new team, if there's an opportunity to play somewhere else within college hockey. Um,
Yeah, because that's another good question though, is these kids that come from the CHL to college hockey, do some of them try to go back to the CHL and they find out that it's not for them? The college game. It's going to be an interesting off season. Um, I would say I would say maybe it's a little under 300, just because of what I said, where guys, they know they have a spot and they don't want to lose it because other teams might be bringing in other transfers and Canadian players. But
I get, like I said, you look at Omaha. Do they rethink
yeah,
what they did and decide that they want to reshuffle again, and some of those Canadian kids go somewhere else?
hmm
Um, trying to find where. And then you're looking for previous NCAA players again. How many? There's a lot that goes into it. It's hard to really predict, but I do think 300 is like a really solid number. It's going to be close to that, whether it's 275 or 343.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I think you could probably, a fair bet would be 300 and set it 25 either way and be okay. So have that range, but 300 does seem like the right number.
why do you keep going to Yahoo? Nobody likes Yahoo. Leave it on Google, you stupid thing. Is my default search engine. God damn it.
Nobody's used Yahoo since 2002.
I think I'd rather use Ask Jeeves than fucking Yahoo. God. All right, if the there, thank you.
Well, yeah, Ask Jeeves. That was a default in third grade.
Oh, Lee. Yeah, see, I go to Google and it pops right up what I'm looking for. I was on the right page previously. Where? Okay, there it is. 2025 men's transfer portal. Gimme. Let me see. Total numbers here. Total numbers. Can you stop, please? Can you please stop? Where is it? I swear to God, they were on here somewhere at one point. Maybe she just said how many were in.
Sydney.
Yeah. She does a great job with this thing. I know she. Oh, I think she did because she wrote her wrap up thing on it. But we can talk about something else while I look for that. There was something else that had just gotten brought up too, as far as here's the thing. I know a bunch of people got butthurt about the fight this weekend, between BU, BC, former North Dakota players, Sasha Boisvert, whichever team he's with now, some Boston team, and
I think it was BU, almost positive.
And UMass Lowell. Is that who they were playing?
Yep. Yeah, it was Lowell.
Here's the thing, right? They can fight in the league they came from. They can fight in the leagues they're going to. They can't fight in this league because the universities and the NCAA say no, no, no. Both players resulted in basically 3-game suspensions. They were suspended for the Saturday game immediately, and then Hockey East issued a 2-game suspension for both players on top of that. We all know that fighting's a part of hockey, right? Like, so I get why it's blowing up all over the internet, because it's something you don't see very often.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really want it in the college game. Again, I understand it because they're kids. They're supposed to be playing for the school. The school doesn't really want to emphasize fighting in that manner. So it makes sense, but from the fan aspect, like, I don't know. I guess the ones who were trying to play like the holier than thou thing kind of hit a nerve with me, of like, if it were 2 guys in the NHL, you'd be cheering it on and you'd be right there with it. But the fact that they're not, in it's the college game and it's more against the rules. Yeah, even pro hockey had a fight this weekend. Or women's pro hockey had a fight this weekend. Like, it's somehow a bigger deal than it really is. Do I think the 3 games was a decent punishment? I do. On it, like, you're trying to emphasize that, hey, we really don't want fighting in this league. Like, I mean, it's an immediate 5-minute major if you face wash somebody or grab their face mask. So yeah, like, I get the suspension for the next game, and then because it was predetermined, like, they were probably chatting in the penalty box, like, hey, are we going to do this when we get out? Unlike the last one, they didn't leave the penalty box early to fight. They left after their penalties were over. Um, they weren't suspended for the rest of the year. And you could say, yeah, well, the two guys who were suspended for the rest of the year only had like 1 or 2 games left to play. So they weren't overly suspended. That those ones could have been more, I suppose. But I think at the end they got the suspensions right. Um, I don't know whether it's good or bad for the sport. I don't know whether it's good or bad for the players. Maybe they both needed something to get going and hoped that was it. But at the end of the day, like, are you really benefiting your team if you want to be the best player on the team and you just got yourself kicked out for 3 games? Like, just be smarter if you're a player in that situation.
I think the like for me, I don't have an issue with them fighting. Um, if anything, I'm more upset it wasn't a better fight. Like if you guys are gonna fight,
Well,
that was more.
some of that may or may not have to do with the linesman fucked that up. Can we be fair about that? Like
You glitched out for a second.
the linesman fucked that up more so than the players did. Now it wasn't again, it was not the best hockey fight I've ever seen, but the linesmen were also pussyfooting around like, do I jump in? Do I not jump in? Let me just put my arm in here. Oh, you're still swinging. Let me pull my arm back. Let me put my arm. Like they were doing the fucking hokey pokey with it. Like either get in there and break them up because it's against the rules, or fucking let them go, and then pick them up, dust them off, and send them to the penalty box afterwards. Like, make up your mind and stick to it. I don't like put your left arm in and try to break it up. Pull your left arm in, let them punch each other in the face. Like, make up your mind, dude. You're not helping anything by doing that. Yeah, but it was fantastic, and you thought it was funny, so suck it.
Yeah, like if you're gonna fight, try to have a good fight. That was kind of meh, but so what? They fought. They know it's against the rules. They got suspended. Who cares? I would have been cheering watching it because you know what? If you get a fight in hockey, it's an exciting part of the game.
Yeah.
And you never see it in college hockey, or well, you hardly ever see it in college hockey, especially with the helmets off. So
I will say
let them go.
Was a smart move for both dudes to take off their own helmets. Maybe. I don't know. Leave that sucker on, dude. Let him. If you're dumb enough to throw a hand at a helmet, I'm leaving that bitch on and I'm aiming it at your hand.
Yeah, but
you want to break
you
want to break your hand? Go ahead. Here, hit it. Hit this. Hit this. Like, and I'm not swinging at them.
Well, that's usually what we see when they keep their gloves on. They're like they'll be punching each other in the head, but they at least have their gloves on. So
yeah. It's like NFL fights when dudes like straight punch the helmet. Like, you're gonna break your hand. Your hand breaks on people's faces without helmets. But yeah, go ahead, punch a helmet.
Who was it? Was it Brian Cushing that headbutted some dude with his helmet off?
Yeah.
And the other dude was, and he's just like bleeding. It's like, what are you doing?
Let me prove to you that athletes are not the smartest. How do I do this? Oh, let me run my unprotected head into your face mask. Like, just pure geniuses. But no, so I mean, they both got a couple good shots in here and there, for sure. I mean, it was a 9-9 round in my book. No clear winner, no clear loser. Each landed some shots, but anything else big? Oh, some pro news. I don't know if you've been keeping your eye on the Carolina Hurricanes, but Brandon Bussi is continues to absolutely crush it. Made some huge saves in the afternoon game yesterday. He is the winner of 18 out of his first 22 professional games. Continues to just blow up the NHL record for a first-year goalie because he's not considered a rookie because he's too old. So as much as he should be up for the Calder Trophy, he is ineligible.
But what's the age limit on that?
Not 27. 25 maybe, unless you're like a Euro. Maybe Euros get a couple or like an extra year.
Because I was going to say maybe Kaprizov was. I don't know how old Kirill is.
Maybe 25 is the cutoff. Let's see. Screw you, Yahoo. You know what Yahoo's good at?
28 right
It's good at
now.
getting me to Google.
So he would have been like 24 when he won it.
26
'Cause
years
he's
old or
97.
younger as of September 15th of their rookie season. So if their birthday is September 20th or September 15th and they turn 26 before the season starts, they're good to go. But as he is 27,
Yeah. That sucks.
I guess it would have to be before that, but yeah. So, absolutely crushing it though. Um I mean, he's got as many wins as some like full-time starters right now. He is absolutely playing insane.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I don't know if you watched any of that game last night, but I think he gave up a goal on like the first shot of the game and then absolutely shut Buffalo down. And you could say, "Oh, it's Buffalo," but dude, they had some grade A opportunities, and he was finding the puck and absolutely
And
just
Buffalo.
battling for every freaking save he made.
And the thing is, Buffalo was on a heater until they lost to the Wild this weekend.
Yeah,
They had won like they were like 7-1-2 in their last 10 games or something coming in. They were just playing really well, and they had played themselves into a wild card spot. So it's not like he's playing the Buffalo Sabres of old.
no. And like I said, I mean, if you want to go back and watch that game, it is literally a masterclass in how to attack a puck as a goaltender. He was not waiting for the puck to come to him. He was throwing blockers, helmets, face masks, sticks, poke checks, like whatever he could find to throw at the puck to keep it out of his net. He was doing it and was very successful, other than on one shot, and literally had to make a save at the final buzzer too. So he has been very fun to watch. Any opportunity that I can to check and see who's in net for Carolina, if it's Brandon Bussey. Other than the fact that he's a Western player, he is now a very exciting goalie, and I want to watch that
Mm-hmm.
game for him. But add to that he's a Western 11. Let's go party time. Any other news from before or from after last week, or not NCHC, before we get into this week's games?
I think so.
My stomach hurts. Covered the fight, covered the transfer portal, covered Brandon Bussey being awesome. I believe St. Cloud State will do renovations to the Herb Brooks National Ice Center either this year or next year. I think it's this summer. So I believe if it is this summer, that this is the last year of the big sheet at the Herb. One of the last Olympic-sized ice rinks to fall.
Oh, the Olympic ice rink isn't even Olympic sized.
Yeah, isn't it smaller than NHL size?
They had to move the neutral zone. It's like 3 feet smaller.
Yeah. Oh, that's a thing. I mean, I guess we could talk about. Duluth did give their backup some game time, knowing that they're going to be without Guyon here soon. I would imagine that's got to be getting
Mm-hmm.
closer.
Yeah, and Bierman, I mean, he's against Lindenwood. He played fine, and he was solid enough on Saturday. Definitely made a couple of mistakes, but he also made some really good saves. I think I'm more confident having him be the backup than I was the past couple of years, especially with Stayskull and Thiessen, uh, and all honesty, with Knapp uh, last year. Last year, I thought Guyon was the better goalie. He just was making freshman mistakes. They both kind of were. Um, and now you look at what Knapp's doing at Lindenwood. Yes, part of it's probably the team, But with how Bierman's been playing, the team's good in front. I think we'll be okay. Um, it's just going to be important to at least get 1 point out of every game, but hopefully keep it up because that's when you lose your number one goalie to the Olympics. That's a big deal, and if you don't really know what your backup is and he hasn't played, then you're really in trouble. And I think it was a couple of years ago in Bemidji, we were no offense to him, but we were running Zach Sandy out there to play our third stringer. It was like, oh, this ain't gonna be good.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, he's definitely you at least want to hold the fort down and hope that you get Guyon back and able to make a run. Um, teams that have lost their number one goalies, we've seen them struggle. St. Cloud State last year lost their number one for an extended period of time, and it really changed their season. Uh,
You know what? I might have just said the completely wrong name because I was thinking about someone else. So I gotta
uh,
I
and
gotta
then
check to see who our
you
backup
know
goalie is.
a couple
Post and I'm like, wait a minute here.
a couple years ago, Denver lost their. I mean, Denver lost like all of their goalies and had to call up the USHL goalie. But they got
Yeah, I completely butchered his name. It's Dahlmeyer. I was thinking of a Gopher football player for whatever reason.
I heard it and it
So
didn't register, and I'm like, that's not right, but I'm gonna let you run with it.
yeah,
Um,
I don't think that's right.
was it?
Sorry, Ethan.
And
My
then you
bad.
just zapped my brain. Who was Denver's goalie last year?
Davis.
Yeah, Davis, Matt Davis. Jesus Christ, the year they won the national title, he was hurt for quite a bit in the middle of the year, and they got him back just at the right time and went on a run to win the national title.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who else was it? St. Cloud State lost theirs last year. I mean, the year Brandon Bussey went down, Western had a terrible freaking season until he got
Yep.
back. So, having a serviceable backup is one thing. Having a really good backup is another thing. And Western had two really, really good goaltenders last year and propelled them to a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
So very important to have at least someone who knows what it is to be in the crease and can play good and give the guys in front of him at least some semblance of confidence, because a confident goaltender gives you confident D-men, and confident D-men turn a defense to offense real quick.
Mm-hmm. And especially with our defensive core.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Oh, top three teams once again in the country are all from Michigan. This time it's Michigan at number one, Michigan State at number two, and Western Michigan at number three. And Western Michigan does have a win over Michigan at number one. So, say what you will. They haven't played State this year, so got no wins or losses over them. So I would say that we're in a good spot. I like where we're at. MPI wise, I think we're still out of a number one seed, but that's fine. Still plenty of hockey to play. Apparently, Arizona State moved up one spot this week in the MPI because that's going to constantly change as wins get counted or removed and losses get counted or removed. So a lot of moving pieces to that still.
Oh yeah.
This weekend's games. Here we go. I got nothing to go to this weekend because Western Michigan is on the road again. So we'll start
Yes, you are.
with you guys, why do you, all right. NCHC, can you please just Eastern time? I don't need local time for these game starts, or make it like access dependent and make it update for whatever time zone I'm looking at the stupid thing. At 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, Colorado College will make the return trip to Omaha as they played in Colorado Springs earlier this year, which saw Omaha sweep the Tigers. Omaha coming off of being swept by Miami, looking for a little revenge, I would assume. Hopefully they can get it on the right track. It's once again a battle between Cozy and Emberko, which I, for one, love watching. As long as both of those guys are playing up to their full potential, that is always a very fun series with a lot of incredible saves.
Yeah, and this one for both teams, with them being tied in the standings, in with points. Uh, Colorado College having played two less games, it's gonna mean a lot more because you don't want to be that bottom team and miss out.
Nobody wants to be in ninth place again because, once again, the team in ninth, does not get to play in the playoffs again this year.
So they're going to be both fighting for those points, and they're going to be valuable for each team because I don't know how many more wins either team is going to get in the conference.
Yeah, especially if Omaha can't find any offense or any consistency in goaltending. Have they already played this year? I don't think so, but maybe. Double checking. Oh, they have. Okay. So North Dakota makes the return trip to Arizona State. They split earlier in the year in Grand Forks. I think North Dakota's just going to be happy to get out of whatever terrible cold weather they're having because the photos and videos of people walking to that game looked like so much fun with the wind and snow blowing.
Yeah, so here further south, the high on Friday is 9 below.
I think it'll be a
Yeah.
little warmer in Tempe, Arizona. But that is a
You think?
that one is two. It is a 9 o'clock Eastern start time. 8 o'clock Central Time, 7 local time. I hate having to do this math. Also starting at, what did I just say? 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 7 Mountain is, oh, son of a duck. You do that weird, stupid time, Arizona. Does that game actually start at 10 Eastern? Because it's Mountain
Um,
Standard Time. Yeah, I think it does. I think it starts at freaking 10.
hang on. Hang on.
Pretty sure it's a 10 o'clock start time on the East Coast.
No. It's
Are you
like
sure?
Phoenix is
Because,
8:01.
oh,
Yeah,
wait, no, we are in
so
Standard
Phoenix is
Time.
only an hour behind me right now.
Okay. I keep forgetting summertime is daylight savings time. Fall time is standard time. And it's Mountain Standard Time,
So,
not
yes,
Mountain Daylight Time.
it is the same time.
Well, see, because someone in Tempe says an hour before Denver's game. And Denver starts at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, which would be, the Mountain's not 3 hours behind. They're only 2 hours behind.
Yeah, Denver's the same time as Arizona right now, as Tucson.
Yeah. So they're both 2 hours. Which really, this should also say Mountain Standard Time for Denver because we're in Standard Time. It shouldn't just say Mountain Time. But it's beside the point. It's a completely different argument for.
Yep.
Honestly, just the NCHC website is a pain in the ass to use to try and figure out when games start. But St. Cloud at Denver, and then Western Michigan at Minnesota Duluth, starting at 7:07 Central Time, 8:07 because they have to be special and different.
Yep, and our friend Jason will be there watching the games.
Also, the only team that I really have left to root for in the NFC is the Seahawks because they don't have anyone that I know of tied to the Detroit Lions. So they can win if they want to. I don't really care.
And I'm
On football talk, because there was a question about football. But otherwise, not a Seahawks fan.
yeah, and I want Sam Darnold to do well. So I got that. But I really think on the weekend the best series might be our series, you know, Arizona State, they have some injuries that they're dealing with now, so they're not necessarily as strong. North Dakota being the number one team in the conference. Colorado College, Omaha, it's going to be hard fought, but they're both the basement dwellers. And then Denver and St. Cloud in Denver. I wasn't, it all depends on how Showstack plays, but I wasn't all that impressed with St. Cloud overall. It was just, like I said earlier, so many lucky bounces, and the fact that Showstack could not let the puck in the net if he tried. He was stopping everything on Friday. So I really do think that our series is going to be the most entertaining one out of the four.
Hampton's been on a roll. He's playing his best hockey right now. The battle for the step stool to try to climb out of the cellar between Colorado College and Omaha could be a really good game. Could be a terrible game. Denver St. Cloud. I mean, that one could really go either way too, because St. Cloud coming off a little bit of momentum, but the loss on Saturday. Denver coming off a little bit of momentum, finally finding a win, but not playing their best hockey. Like, all of these feel like a little bit more toss-ups than usual. Arizona State did get more bad news. Colin Potter out for the season, scheduled for surgery Thursday, so he joins the list of guys who are out for the season, which is getting to be a very long list.
Mm-hmm.
And a pretty long list across the NCHC. Western without 2 defensemen. We might get a first look at the new defenseman, Alex Kalbach, this weekend at Duluth after joining the team in January, as they were off this weekend being called up from the USHL. So, could potentially see him get in a game this weekend.
That'd be a fun thing to look out for.
And I think that about does it. And to answer your question, I don't hate Stafford. I'm just no longer rooting for anybody who's left the Lions and then going on to win a goddamn Super Bowl. I'm tired of watching it. I don't need to. Don't want to cheer for you anymore. Cheered for your first one. I don't care about your big, shiny, white, fake teeth, okay? So, you have your ring. Good for you. Thank you for all the years you were as a Lion. But I don't care to see people who couldn't win a championship in Detroit win a championship for any other team anymore. I'm just over it. It's happened too many goddamn times. Too many times.
And that's why you probably hated that Rams Bears game.
100%. Well, I told you the week before. I wanted the Packers to win, just so Ben Johnson didn't get far enough. And then they beat the Packers, and then I was like, well, kind of need some team. I wish both teams could lose, but that couldn't happen.
Yeah, that was me in the Packers Bears game. I want both teams.
They really tried. They really, really tried. So. And then, my team in the AFC, the Denver Broncos, they lost their quarterback celebrating. So, who knows what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm. Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, that's the fun of other sports. I really haven't watched a football game since week 16, when the Lions decided that they forgot how to play football. We're just going to piss everything away. But they did go undefeated against the Bears this year, so hooray!
Yay!
Hooray! Daryl from The Office. Hooray! Yay! I got nothing else. I got absolutely nothing else
either.
So I guess in that regard, last thing to do is there's some YouTube stuff if you feel like doing it. If not, cool, whatever, don't care. I'm just gonna say it because it's allegedly helps the channel, but we're not doing this for money, so do what you want.
We aren't.
You'll get to hear the new song again here at the end. That's cool. I like it. It's fun. We made it with AI. It's a cool thing. Other than that, Pucks on Net, good things happen, like Go Horns of Fight songs. He's Mike. I'm Wes. We're going. See you next week. Bye.
Skates hit ice and the crowd roars. Go horns blast every time the home team scores. From the barn to the broadcast, we bring the sound. Fight songs echo through every college town. Cold air biting while the pace stays strong. NCHC nights run fast and long. Blades cut deep and the boards shake tight. This is college hockey. From the west to the midwest, a rivalry spark. Every matchup hits heavy, every barn gets dark. Fast ice, big